one day Bishop called me to his room, and that in November I still remember when I went to his room, he said he gave me a hand over an envelope. Though the school didn't start, already I was made principal. According to the plan, in December we wanted to advertise and start the application form to be distributed, and our only plan was to start LKG and UKG. But the problem was there that the principal had no place to stay. So initially I decided, nobody told me, I occupied the last classroom. I slept in the classroom. Now at present it is the 8th class down near to entrance to the stadium. So we invited Mother Teresa sisters, and that is next one part of almost 4 acres we gave it to the sisters for a home for the destitute. And then Bishop decided that we will inaugurate on February 1st, and on 2nd we will start the first day of the class. Before the school started, 4 sisters from community of sisters, we invited them from Secunderabad. So they accepted, and the sisters, they brought 3 sisters and 1 lady from Karnataka, and 1 lady teacher we recruited from here, a Punjabi, Prabhijit, I still remember the name. So with 5 people only, we started the school. Anil sir came, then after that Vinod sir, then slowly Mrs. Mona Quadros, and I was very fortunate to get the right people. Since I had a very positive experience in my school life, I knew what the right type of education, what make children happy to learn. On the one hand, you have to have discipline. On the other hand, you have to have love, affection. So I could communicate these ideas to the teachers. At that time, the motto of the school, so the one famous book in the management field was a book, In Search of Excellence. So that book is stating that unless and until any organization or management or institution strive for excellence, that will have to face its own decline. The next is, since it's a missionary school and otherwise also virtues, and of course discipline, that was I thought any child, provided the school gives a good background and motivation, the children could do well. And then once Vinod sir took interest and Samuel sir in Scouts and Guides, and then I came in contact with a very good gentleman, Mr. Sneha Sinha and Mrs. Sinha. The Bengali couple, very highly cultured, and connection with all the forest department officials. So he will easily get us permission, and we used to visit all the surrounding places. So children used to enjoy. They used to go for 2 days trip or 3 days trip. So that was a good experience for environment. Actually, I felt sorry afterwards we couldn't do when the school grew up, because that going and staying in the wilderness and going through the forest and so on. And we have some of our alumni, they are very famous environmental crusaders. So the main thing in education, even now after so many years, I can say, it is motivation. I made sure that whenever we used to advise small children, We made it in their mother tongue. So Vinod sir used to translate the same thing. Then sometime Anil sir was doing that one. So Anil sir and Vinod sir, because they could put very powerfully into their mother tongue. And then we created a kind of ambience among the students that this is your home, this is your second home. Yeah, this kind of the tune I gave I had some cassettes from the tune, but the wording is by Mrs. Mona Quadros and Sister Pauline. So usually all schools put either a flower's name or leader's name or color name. But I thought that it should be something, so that I thought about, and then this idea came across. See, Astros means regarding all space, biogens within the body, that is another world, and marines in the ocean, and terrestrian is on the land. That means Josephite represented the entire universe. Many people thought that Wright will give a setback to St. Joseph. I was very glad that parents had still the confidence. Hardly even 10 students didn't leave. There was an expectation a good number of students will leave St. Joseph because people were frightened. But parents had confidence in the school, and that didn't affect as we thought. We knew that from the performance and so on, students will do, but they did extremely well, all passed in first division, and to handle such a big number, 78 I think, 78 students in the first batch itself was tough. But then, we had even night classes. Students used to come and stay there, and teachers used to come and teach them, because some of them told we can't study at home. So since there were so many classrooms were there, I told them, you come. Most of that senior teachers, they used to spend any amount of time for. The main thing is that you want to give a good education. That means if the teachers are at the disposal of the children, but then they have their obligation. So they had to sacrifice. So earlier teachers, the founding teachers, were willing to do that. That's why we got a good foundation. After the first batch, for next 10 years, we never thought that we will start +2. And then I was not in favor of any using part of the school. I always said to the bishop, we should start a separate, because in any schools, seniors' influence on juniors is very much. Now, I met the architect. This first part is original buildings. What we see St. Joseph. It was by a team from Ranchi, Mayuk, Varna, you say. But then, fortunately, we met our own one architect, Mr. Hussain. He was a very experienced, and +2 was entrusted to him. And then he built up, but then the opening was very big. So I said, okay, down part is all right. The other two parts, we want a smaller one. So it exactly looked like a Colosseum, that ordinary window like that. Lately, I began to feel that at least 3-4 months it will start, like in January onwards, the pressure of admission. Early I could manage. I had a kind of idea how many sections we can go. So I used to take a little, adjust to the people and take, but then once you reach a level and you can't go beyond 6 sections, then I began to feel more pressure and I had to refuse. Actually, I found the only problem in the school I experience is only the pressure of admission. All other things that can be easily managed. When I was in USA, I saw an old friend of mine, a lady. I went to her house. I was surprised to find the number of bell collection. So that helped me to have a spoon collection. Whenever you go to visit any city, you collect a spoon. And later, some students seeing that, when they went, especially marine engineers who were traveling with marine companies, they used to bring me some spoons from Rio de Janeiro, South America, and some other places. Scooter, ESD, Bullet, Jeep with a hood, ambassador car. But before that, constantly I used to use a Maruti Gypsy. I used to ride them, but later now I don't. I was trying to make them impress the students. So, because I had shown them the Ten Commandments movie, so that is like for Christians and Jews. That means the main points that will make you successful. So we made it that is based on a kind of ethical behavior, and made them recite. But lately, there was a period, maybe kind of 10, 15 years, that worked very well. Everything very smoothly settled. So that is a Ten Commandments effect. I was in trouble because the sister who was appointed, she got transferred. Then they were telling that they don't have a sister to take care of the office. Then Sister Ambrosina, as a teacher, she came. I still remember, Standard 2. Then she came and told, Father, I have early worked as a office. If you don't mind, I can. So that was the biggest blessing for me, because what happens is that I never had to worry. 25 years, I never had to worry about anything running of the school. So I could spend all my time with the students. Apart from that, earlier used to be a kind of punishment. So those who are caught, they have to go to each class and publicly say. So, but sometime afterwards, they will be very bold for the first 2-3 classes. Then slowly they will begin to, or they will be kept outside. Then, in lunch time or in interval time, small children will come. Then they will ask, Bhaiya, what happened? I knew that an important component is discipline. But after the disciplining, so I never lost the confidence in the student. So I used to call back and talk back, and so that helped. That is why when one student came, he came from other school. So I asked, hey, what is the difference? Then he said, Father, if in my previous school, if I was a bad guy, I will be always a bad guy. But here, I can be a bad guy and I can become a good guy. But sometimes it went excess. Sometimes you caught the wrong fellow unpunished. Some used to come and tell me afterwards, Father, it was not me, the fellow who was next to me. So 2-3 outstanding which other school don't have. That was one environmental concern. St. Joseph has an outstanding fossil collection which no school has. Now, this all 10 years of effort. Every year we used to celebrate with a fanfare, one Mahotsav. And even we used to get saplings from the forest department, and children used to carry. And then there used to be talk and songs, composition, even drawing competition. So it was all that went deep into the minds of the students. The second thing is that religious tolerance. We had actually, Bhagalpur has a very good combination. We wanted to see that children should learn all the religions aspect, main point. Children are basically religious. Any sacred things they see, they show that respect. Now, the very interesting thing that I observed, children, very small children, nobody told about religion and so on. But when they come there, they see Mother Mary's one statue there. Immediately, small children will do a kind of respect. I never wanted to be in school. I just wanted to do some program for people to uplift their condition. Now this school, and then in the beginning I was thinking after 5 years I will get out. But then when I started to work and so on, I found great interest, and I saw I had this a wonderful area to mold the children. And then I never thought about changing. So in that way, I did not know what impact I was making on the children. So some letters children used to write, they're very positive. But apart from that, what do the children feel? The type of training, the type of discipline. But when the Facebook came, not that we want to hear what the students say, but then they began to express spontaneously appreciating what we are doing. That is not only for appreciation for me, but for the whole teachers. It is actually the basic success of St. Joseph is not personally me, but the type of teachers and sisters and the parents and some public figures of Bhagalpur helped the building of St. Joseph School.